Yeah, not panicking, certainly off the field at the moment. It has, though, on the field been a bit of a false start to the new era. Looking at Sale and the first 5 games they've played, how big a hole do you think your old club are in?
I think they're in a particularly big hole. I think obviously the interjection of Steve coming back in, you'd expect to have made a big difference in terms of intensity, but it didn't. I think they've got no real identity at the moment. Last year they kind of hung their hat on saying we're a very expansive, kind of like, all-encompassing rugby team. This year I just don't know what they're about. There's no particular facet of the game which is particularly good or bad. Nowhere's broken in its whole, but they're not hanging their hat on anything, and you kind of have to create an identity for people to buy into, and they haven't got it.
Do you think that's shining through in the way that they're playing at the moment?
Yeah, it is. I've been confused watching Sale. I've been trying to find out what exactly is wrong with Sale at the moment. Pat used the word intensity, and this week I've been watching a couple of their games, and I looked at their game against Bath, and at the breakdown, particularly without the ball, they do lack intensity. They've got a structure. It's a 2-man in. Now, Bath are a different team. When Claessens is on the front foot and gets easy ball, they will control the rhythm of the game. And Sale here, 5 minutes into the match, this is what they did nearly all game. They just went quick, 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 because Sale had 2 men, they didn't slow them. What you have to do at a breakdown is understand it more, be less passive when the chance is there. Sale hardly attacked Bath, they just had 2 men there and they let Bath dictate tempo of the game. In the second half, this is a classic example. You can see now, if we look at the iPad here, Bath are behind the gay line. Tom Biggs here, not the biggest winger, he's some way behind. When we run this now and take this on, you can see that Biggs gets flattened by Tui Tupou, and when you just watch this game, you pause it at this point, they've got 2 men in. Now Bath have got their entire back line going backwards. This is a great chance, really, to put that man Claessens under terrible pressure.
That's what you talk about. What would the All Blacks do? What would Saracens do last week against Quins? You pile in, Pat, you're a back row forward, you're in at knee height, and you don't give them a chance.
But look at this, first half, 40th minute, the only time in the game they attack. Double tackle, Tui Tupou and Leota. This time, McLeod doesn't wait. He goes in, support there. The 2 men turned into 4, and for the only time in the game, Pat, without the ball, Sale have turned Bath over and won the scrum. And to me, it looked very passive, and it looked like the decision-making in that area not only lacked intensity, but lacked a clarity.
I would say that's a coaching issue at the breakdown. I think a lot of teams now...
Is that a fear of getting pinged at the breakdown?
No, I don't. I think a lot of teams now coach actually taking that space past the contact. I know that Saracens do, Leicester do, it's part and parcel, and that to me looks like that area isn't coached.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things, just to pick up on what Pat was saying earlier, would be the fact that I'm struggling to see what is the worst bit about their game. It just seems in each game they fix one, they stick a finger in the dike, and then something else leaks. That's the problem. It's getting that confidence. It doesn't help. Opening day, Richie Gray, the star, signing, the line-out fell apart. They thought, we can hang our hat on this. They got battered away at Exeter. From there, they've been just plugging gaps. I think the most disappointing result for them, which would have really tested Steve Diamond's patience, was against London Welsh. They just got out. The physicality wasn't there. They didn't have that fight, that bite. They were at home, their new stadium. The guys who'd just been promoted. Guys, if you get beaten there, then you really are struggling.
Steve Diamond will certainly demand a much bigger, I suppose, effort tomorrow night. And it's interesting looking back in time as well. Things have certainly blown a little hot and cold since the golden season of 2005-2006 when Sale won the Premiership. The Sharks since then have been the model of inconsistency. The year following that triumph, they finished 3rd from bottom. They then qualified for the Heineken Cup in 08 and 09 by finishing 5th before then ending the following season 1 place off relegation. They fared little better in 2011 with another 10th placed finish before once again qualifying for the Heineken Cup with a top half spot last season. And as you well know, they are currently at the bottom. What does that tell you about the club?
I think it tells you how close the Premiership is, for one.
Right.
I think the difference between the top and bottom varies. But I think it'd be interesting to lay over that who's been in charge. Because I think their big issue is they don't have a culture that runs within the club. They have a culture that's attached to the guy in charge. And if you remove the head, then the whole thing falls apart. And that's the problem. There's no consistency, and it comes right from the very top. It comes from the owners.
Yeah.
That they've got to make sure that the most important thing at any rugby club is what underpins everything. It's the culture of the place. Leicester have had it. They recruit from within. They've created something special which has transcended generations of rugby. Sale haven't done that, and as a result, you get this inconsistency.
I think you have to say, Philippe Saint-André was in charge when they had their glorious blip in 2006, and he may be coach of France now. but he did not bring continuity to Sale. They tightened up their game. When they had this powerful game with Sheridan there, you said, right, explode on the scene. And they went backwards. And I think Philippe has to take responsibility. When they had their moment to join the big guns, they didn't take it.
OK, thank you very much indeed for now, fellas.